Hi folks, this is the 9th of January 2016. Happy New Year. This is my new, well I say new, it's my first greenhouse ever, apart from the cheap plastic jobs that fall down in February winds. This is, I got it cheap in B&Q. They're closing down the store in Muller Road, Bristol, and yeah, it's a big clearance sale, so I got this really cheaply. Of course, the instructions had been eaten by something or other, and they had to. So it took me 2, 3, 4 days to get it up. But anyway, we're up now, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've been sowing seeds, and now I know I'm not supposed to, but I've been sowing seeds. There's some quite hardy Oriental salad leaves. So we've got kailan, which is Chinese broccoli. I mean, the broccolis aren't massive, but you eat the sweet stems. So it's one of the ancestors of tender stem broccoli. And along there is the red mustard, ruby mustard. And up there we've got pak choy. So of course, because I've got this wonderful new toy called a greenhouse, and I'm going crazy. That was sown just before Christmas. Look at the size of it. So look at the, it's almost feels like spring, even though we're in the middle of winter. We've got recently I've been sowing some more Oriental brassicas, Oriental salad leaves. Komatsuna, no idea what that is, but I'll give it a go. Tatsui again, it's quite unusual. Coriander, we make a lot of curry in this house. Meteor peas, and various other bits and pieces. I've got, I'm trying out these now. If you're French, I apologise, but I'm growing shallots from seed, and what I'm going to do is let it eat half of them, leave half of them in the ground for the year after. Watch them divide and see whether or not they use it. Well, they're obviously going to flower because these are seeded, probably hybridized with onions, seeding shallots, and I'm going to see whether or not the seed shoots ruin the dividing shallot. But anyway, I'll give it a go. There's people doing experiments with this sort of thing in America. That's I think it's allium nutans, which is Chinese or Siberian spring onion or something like that. We've got some more meteor peas, which I sowed sort of 3 weeks ago. A Dorbenton, a variegated Dorbenton kale, which is a perennial kale, doesn't flower, it creates a bush, not a tall tree like that one over there, which is the Taunton Dean kale, which I think is identical to the American kale tree collard. Well, these create a bush. They don't flower. They live for many years. You keep cutting the leaves off and eating them, just like any old kale. And but this one's variegated, so it's Dorbenton panache or panache, or whatever the French is for that. I'm growing more perennial experiments. I'm growing this seed, which is guardsman. Now this is your Welsh onion, Allium fistulosum, is these down here. Now they're perennial. They keep coming back year after year. They don't die back during the summer, they're like all other onions. Now these ones here, guardsmen, are hybrid between your common or garden onion, Allium cepa, or chepa, however you pronounce it, and it's a hybridized with the Welsh onion, Allium fistulosum. So I'm going to see whether or not they die back in the summer, whether or not they divide like the Welsh onion, and see just how perennial they are. They might be. So I'm not massively impressed with Welsh onions, and I'm hoping lots of people say good things about growing guardsmen in an annual way. So I'm going to give it a go, see what it's like. These are some fruit. I've been enjoying fruit last year. I had 20 in this tiny garden around here. I had 20 kilos worth of pears from that pear tree there. Tiny, 8 feet high. 20 kilos, and that over there, which is my cherry tree, tiny little cherry tree, 8 kilos of cherries. So I'm getting into fruit. I'm going to try out these. I don't want any more trees, but I'm going to try out these. I don't want the garden so shaded. This is a blackberry. This one's a highly productive blackberry. It's called Reuben. I bought it at oh god, I can't remember where I bought it. Anyway, I shouldn't endorse them unless I know it's going to be good, which I should find out this year or the next. Anyway, this Reuben, it does big fruits, lots and lots of them, and it's a blackberry. But this is also blackberry, and this is thornless. It's called thornless. I think it's Oregon thornless, judging by the. No, I don't know. I'm no expert, but I've been looking for it for a long time because of the ornamental leaves. These nicely cut. So I bought it for the fruit, but I also bought it because I thought it looked pretty. You see Victorian sort of prints with this sort of finely cut blackberry leaves on. So I think it looked good in the garden. Plus it'd be fruiting. This one's an early raspberry, Malling Promise, or Malling Promise, and I'm going to be growing that. I want it really early, so just shortly after the strawberries, I get some raspberries. See how we get on with that. I've no idea. I'm no expert on fruit, but I'll give it a go. I'm trying to help it grow big roots and stalks in here in the greenhouse over winter instead of being outside in the ground. Hopefully that'll give it a boost. Anyway, that's that. Over here we got the grape, which is it's a seedless grape. No idea how it tastes. It's called Lakemont. What it is I'm going to grow it up here and then along the roof, and I may even pull that bit of glass out there and let it go outside as well. Like I say, I'm getting into fruit. It's obviously a perennial system, having this sort of fruit, and yeah, I think that'll be great. That's one of the most annoying things. I've got another grape over there. I don't know whether you can see it through the glass. Up against the wall, there's a grape, full of seeds. It's a really nice taste, but it puts it's annoying, spitting out all the seeds. But we'll see that. We'll give this a go. Over here we've got I grow perennial rocket. Neither of us, me or Chitra, eat it because it's really bitter. Now I'm trying out a more modern, I think possibly a more modern variety, and see whether or not it's slightly milder. It's bitter as hell, perennial rocket. This is called Runway. Over here we have leeks grown from pips. Now pips, when you leek plant, you've got a big leek plant in your garden, you're about to dig it up in late winter, leave one or two of them, and by autumn, well, late summer, autumn, it would have shot up with, if you leave it there, it would have shot up with a flower head, with lots of little flowers like onion flowers or onion flowers. And what you do is you shave off the flowers, leaving the hard sort of nut of it, and then sort of 2-3 weeks later it will grow all these little green pips, or you depending on where you come from in the country, they're either pips or grass. If you leave them on, you can pull them off there and then and put them in the ground one by one, but it's probable that over the summer, autumn, and winter they won't be really big enough before they themselves bolt the next year. So what you do, these growers in competition growers up north, you know, Geordies and all that, they they'll they'll hold them back on the plant, looking really manky. Wait until late November, then pull them off, which is what I've done here. So they'll be really, really tiny next spring. So they won't bolt because they haven't matured, and then you grow them on next year for the year, you know, for the winter after, and you get nice big leeks. So it's a perennial vegetative propagation technique you can use for leeks. Again, I've taken cuttings from celery. So this celery grew this year. Now celery's a biennial, but what interested me was that it put out side shoots. Now with side shoots, I like side shoots on plants because you can cut them off and root them and grow a new plant. But then again, it may bolt next spring, so we don't. I don't know whether it'll work or not. Don't use this as gospel. But I'm trying it out. I know from the internet this is cos lettuce. I know from the internet that they do vegetatively propagate. You can take cuttings and yeah. This is from an academic site that I read that on. So we're not just, you know, internet lunatics talking about stuff I don't really understand, like me. So so it should work. It's an experiment. We'll see. They say it'll work. I'm going to find out. This is a cutting from chard. It's bolted. I've taken a cutting. See whether or not it'll put out roots. I don't know. Again, I don't know whether it's going to be viable. I'm going to give it a go. I hate sowing seed, by the way, because between here and next spring, anything can happen. Well, they tend to all die, or die of the heat, die of fungus, you know, all that sort of stuff. Anywho, that's all pips. I've got some. That's a cutting from last year's cutting from 9-star perennial broccoli, and as you can see, it flowered. Now we're told with 9-star perennial broccoli, if you let it flower, and especially if you let it go to seed, it will kill the plant. Yeah, there we go. Well, it shows that 9-star perennial broccoli wants to be perennial because it's still going low. So it's not just monocarpic. Which monocarpic means as long as you stop it flowering, it'll keep going. So that's interesting. That's so they'll grow that on next year, this year, and it should put on broccolis the year after, 2017. There's Siberian kale. I don't even remember what that is, but I'm obviously looking after it. It's a brassica of some sort. And I put some potatoes in there. I know it's January, but you get a bit crazy when you get a greenhouse, I'm told, and I did. I can't remember the variety. Yes, I can. It's Rocket, very early variety of Rocket. So that's so we'll see when they come through. I mean, it is mild this year. I mean, look, we've got a volunteer potato coming up here. So it is mild. So we've got Welsh onions there and a couple of lettuces. Anyway, that's all for now. I'm getting nagged by the cat. Where's my food? I shall see you all later. Ta-da. And before you go, this is just, I thought you might be interested in my overwintering chilies and what's it called? African blue basil. And now I know it's a mild winter here in England. This is well, this is not chilli. This is oxhorn. What's the sweet pepper? Oxhorn sweet pepper. Yeah, it's doing. Still got leaves on it. And there's I've forgotten the name of it. Napier. Yeah, Napier. That is a chilli, but it's very mild, quite large fruits. It's surviving. It's doing quite well really. I have had attacks of some sort of aphid. I've no idea what it is. And it is the trick if you're overwintering plants. The trick is to make sure you get those insects, because they will destroy your plants. You think it's the cold or the lack of light, but it's the insect. Well, it's likely to be the insects. This one here is I've forgotten what it's called. It's one from the Andes. It's quite hardy. It's hardy. It can survive -5, I'm told. And yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of leaves on there. It's looking glossy. It's quite a strong one. It's as hot as a habanero, but if you get them green, like I've been doing, they're really tasty. Forgotten what that is. It's a geranium. It's minty smelling geranium. This here is basil, African blue basil, and it's a perennial. It's keeping its leaves. I managed to keep these alive 1 in every 2 years over winter. They grow on the next year. You eat them, eat the leaves, just like any other basil. And this is, so this is doing better. It's looking a lot better than it has any other year. I think I'm just becoming a better gardener. Well, I'm, possibly. That I'm making more efforts to solve problems quicker this year than any other year. Anyway, that's. I just thought I'd update you on the edibles that I've got growing indoors over winter. Anyway, that's all for now. See you later.